Hello, everybody. I am Technovoid, your host, and absolutely nothing else. Not a sinister thing here. And with me is Good Actually, your favorite Pokemon analyst. How are you doing, Good Actually?
I'm good, actually.
You are good, actually. That's fantastic. We're here today with week 1 of season 7. We've got a couple of matches here to review. You want to lead us straight into it, Good Actually?
Yeah, sure. My name will probably be changed back before this video comes out, so that'll be weird. But
Good,
whatever.
actually. It's good, actually. So yeah, we got a couple of matches here today. We've got one from Timer, one from Quick, and we're also going to be reviewing the Friend Ball match just because our favorite Pokemon analyst thinks there's definitely some things to say about that one too. But we're starting off here with Kotard Crow versus Okurari. Talk to me about these teams. Why'd you want to talk about this one today?
Honestly, I always like it when we can start off the season with some, easy pointers to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this match has a few of those.
I think so. Yeah, I think with this match, and we'll definitely get into it. Kotard had definitely a chance to bring things back because I think there were a couple of points where Okurari, despite I think playing pretty well, made a couple of mistakes that could have been taken advantage of, but Kotard just didn't.
Yeah, just not in the right position or didn't quite have the momentum or the prediction.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, basic game sense stuff to a degree. All right. So looking at these teams going into it, what are you seeing? Obviously, on Okurari's side, we are seeing the Snow Kyurem Black. Very likely to be, loaded dice. Makes a lot of sense here. Beats the Ursaluna pretty handily. Beats the Mimikyu pretty handily.
Beats the whole thing.
The whole
pretty
thing.
Handily.
Yeah. Well, maybe not Aggron.
I mean, press an Aggron check it for sure, but Kyurem Black is one of the tougher threats of the season.
Absolutely. What else on Okurari's side do you feel like is a strong win con here?
I see the biggest counter to Kyurem Black on his team. Unfortunately, that's Goldango.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for everyone else. So I'm not sure what Centiskorch does here, other than be a fire type, but I don't dislike it. I mean, Talonflame into it is always rough. Talonflame into this team is kind of a sleeper.
Why is that?
I feel like one priority attack under Trick Room is sometimes just all you need.
That's valid, yeah. Yeah, as we discussed with in the overview, Kotard definitely has sort of a Trick Room sort of set, Iron Valiant being sort of the outstanding member of that, where it's very much not doing that. But otherwise, it looks like Kotard kind of wants to play a slower game here, and Okurari doesn't really care the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Okurari has a lot of ways to stall the momentum. He's got Aurora Veil, he's got Intimidate on Gyarados.
At least to start.
Yep, it can Mega.
Yeah, but it's not forced to.
Nope.
Alright, anything else from Kotard you think that is something that sort of is important here? You mentioned the Centiskorch. I feel like the Mega Aggron is a good pick here.
I agree.
I like how it sort of plays into the majority of this team, with the exception, I would say, like Talonflame.
Yeah. I feel like Valiant is also set up to do a fair bit here if it's prepped correctly, which is not super easy to do. Valiant can do a lot of different things.
Sure. And what kind of prep do you think would be appropriate on the Valiant here?
I would think it probably needs to be physical.
Okay.
Maybe... I don't know. It could be booster energy attack, honestly, and it would go pretty hard into this team. But similarly, Banded would, Life Orb would, but physical with at least close combat and knockoff goes pretty hard into this team.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Iron Valiant, as you mentioned, it's one of those Pokemon that it just has a lot of different options, a lot of different good sets that it can go for. So I think that's something that Crow should definitely be paying attention to as the weeks go on, is just like, how do I get the best use out of this thing in any given week? Because
Yeah, plus there's 3 setup Pokemon on this team potentially, in Kyurem Black, Gyarados, and Abomasnow with the Veil.
Yeah.
So it's pretty free real estate for Valiant to have Encore as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because, like, unlike, yeah, some of these Pokemon, unlike, I mean, Cresselia has, like, a couple different things, but, like, it's always filling a very specific niche for the most part. Something like Mega Aggron is usually doing the same thing. Something like Mimikyu is generally doing a pretty similar thing. Valiant really is kind of a wild card in that sense,
Yeah,
which is,
it's very flexible on
yeah,
this team.
yeah. Okay, all right, well, let us get right into it. Oh, I need to turn the speed down on these. Oops.
No, that's fine.
All right, so
Snuggle.
how are you feeling about this lead?
Well, a good lead with the fire type for
Mhm.
starters. Happy to see it. Pretty clear, obvious switch into the Gyarados. Not sure if called protecting on Centiskorch I don't really agree with, because there's definitely going to be at least one switch on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But the fling monkey donkey thing, very good.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, because you're blocking the Trick Room there, and you're busting, because it's obviously not a physical attacker, but you don't care because you're busting anyways.
Yeah, it's one of the only ways to stop Mimikyu's Trick Room.
Yeah, I mean it worked really well. So
Yeah.
really solid first turn from Okurari here. In comes Talonflame against the Centiskorch.
Yeah. Glad to see Centiskorch switching out here. And interesting to see Valiant coming in. It does beat the Gyarados, but only if it Megas.
Oh, that's true, yeah. And here we see the Encore coming out, as you suspected.
Yeah, happy to see it, honestly.
And a nice
There he
object back
goes.
there.
Yeah, and reveals Focus Sash, which is kind of rough. And putting up Trick Room unfortunately prevents Crow from encoring Gyarados into Protect.
Mm-hmm. And here the flame body begins.
Yeah, the Monkey Donkey reveals its second ability to flinch.
You wanna talk about this because I know you had some thoughts on this curse Gyarados. Do you want to talk about that now?
It's a hard read.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I love it, because Gyarados is particularly good on this team at preventing Trick Room. There were a lot of anti-Trick Room measures on this team, like Fling Monkey Donkey, and, just Golden Go checking every setup, every Mon's ability to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's fine to have a contingency plan for it, but I think Dragon Dance would have made this game just go faster. But that said, Okurari allows the Trick Room to go up, thus taking advantage of the Curse Gyarados.
And we switch over to Mold Breaker here now. Which is going to kill even through that Reflect, but we are going to get that burn, which, glad we have that +2 attack right now.
Yeah, Lunar Blessing unfortunately fails, and now the Crest is taunted.
What does Lunar Blessing do?
Lunar Blessing is, it's Cresselia's life 2.
Oh.
Alright, Mega Aggron comes out. Heavy Slam into Gyarados is interesting. Definitely would have expected Body Press.
Oh yeah, because it's the Dark type, yeah. Yeah,
but here...
Yeah.
Gyarados protected. Gyarados is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
The play here was always to double Gyarados.
Yeah. But unfortunately, double into the other Protect, which is unfortunately just another turn to Trick Room down.
Yeah. Ending the Trick Room entirely. So, I mean, if a Pokemon protects and is there the next turn, it's either switching or it's not protecting. So, it's always vulnerable.
Yeah. There's very, very few situations in which the proper play is to attempt a double protect. Like, if someone is attempting a double protect, that means they have fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Like, so it is, to be clear, it is sometimes the best play, but it is usually only the best play if something else has gone wrong. It is always a contingency. It is never the first option to rely on that 30%.
Yeah.
Alas.
But now the Aurora Veil is up, and honestly, that's just that's doing so little through the Aurora Veil, through the 2 defense boosts. This Gyarados is, even if it's not attack boosted anymore because of the burn, it's pretty threatening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, like, what's taking it out?
Not a body press.
Nope. Although the Mimikyu is surprisingly staying alive. I guess it is a neutral hit, but I'm just surprised it lives that much.
Goes for the burn on the Abomasnow. I don't really like that.
Yeah, what was the purpose of that? I wasn't really following that.
I think the play that turn was to just guarantee the fall of Gyarados.
Mm-hmm.
By hopefully clicking Play Rough if he had it.
It goes down anyways.
Yeah, it does, but if Play Rough had taken out Gyarados, the Heavy Slam or the Body Press would have redirected into the Abomasnow.
Yeah, which would have been pretty big. Wouldn't have killed probably with the AV up, but would have been nice regardless. Okay, well now there's no Trick Room up, so this does give Valiant a chance to come in here. Brick Break destroying the AV is nice, but I feel like getting a kill on the Abomasnow is better.
Yeah, I don't know if Close Combat would have killed through AV.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah, there's a good chance. Does it when this is actually something I don't know. If Brick Break is breaking through a AV or something, does it calculate the damage before or after the break?
After.
Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, it's very possible it would have lived the CC anyways. But yeah, just unfortunate. And yeah, Icicle Spear showing just how strong that item has made Kieran Black finally.
That crit might have mattered. It might have only gotten 4 hits and Crest would have lived. Going for the body press there, I would double check Heavy Slam. It might be stronger there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because Kiram is also very big, but
yeah, we are down to the final 2 now. Ursaluna is doing the. So we have a double protector on the final turn of Light Screen.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like the play. Granted, I think there were very few plays at this point, but
I don't think Aggron was living regardless.
Yeah. That's true.
And Ursaluna was being hit by a physical move, so in the end, it probably didn't matter, but generally, if you have momentum, like a Light Screen, like a Trick Room, you want to be attacking as much as you can.
Yeah. This is something that I know Crow ran into a lot last season that I can't actually remember if Crow sort of improved throughout the season, but one thing that you definitely want to keep in mind when you have a team that does rely on some kind of speed control, like in your case, Trick Room, or, something with screens, you want to be using the time you actually have where you have that momentum as aggressively as possible. Especially towards the early part of Season 6, Crow spent a lot of time during his Trick Rooms stalling out his own Trick Rooms, which was like sort of anti-helpful to him. I think he got better in the second half, and just something to reiterate as we come into a new season here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I do think at this point the match was sort of decided.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what are some points? What are some points you think Crow could have sort of abused sort of the match a little bit more and taken some things out earlier?
Targeting is a big one. Obviously, target around the protects. You always have to remember what protected last turn, what switched in, what didn't, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, people might forget this often, you can mouse over your opponent's Pokemon to see what moves they've revealed. And if they haven't revealed Protect, they might not have it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a chance.
Yep.
Aside from that, it's momentum, and when you're playing Trick Room, use your. This sounds weird, but use your Pokemon's lives as resources. If you need to sack something to get something else in, like another slow Pokemon that can just hit hard, just do it. Like, on the turn Valiant was gonna die, or at any point where Valiant was already low, couldn't really do much else. If Trick Room was up, just send in Valiant to die so you get a free Ursaluna.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on into the next one, which is going to be Juice versus Techno Void. What are you feeling here? I didn't know we were going to be talking about this one, so I don't know what to say.
There's a Pichu.
There is a Pichu. I guess I can talk about my sets a little bit.
Yeah, talk about your drafting process.
For sure, absolutely. Annihilate in this game, I mean, I'm fighting Juice. I had to simply use the Juice Annihilate set, literally the one and only that got used last season. I felt using any other set of IVs or EVs or moves or held item on Annihilate other than what it used 8 weeks last season would have simply been a crime. So despite the fact knowing that would be extremely predictable, I did bring that exactly. For me, I guess the biggest thing here was probably the decision between bringing Sableye versus bringing Salazzle was probably the big decision for me.
That makes sense.
Most of these other Pokemon I felt pretty confident in. Tornadus gives me very, very nice speed control. Obviously, I know his Drifblim can set Tailwind. Can Landorus? I don't remember.
No.
Landorus cannot set Tailwind, so it's basically I'm looking at that Drifblim. I look at his team. I don't really think it wants to be setting up Trick Room against me, so I feel pretty confident in the Tailwind. I get the Prankster on that. Weezing Galar honestly hits this team like a fucking truck. It's a really good offensive presence here.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it is, but like, I mean, Fairy and Poison just happen to play really, really nicely into this combo, so I brought that as pretty much like one of my sweepers. Inteleon pretty much doing the same thing. A combination of water and ice work really well here with the exception of Finny. And then Pichu is a meme. In big part, I brought Pichu because the Raging Bolt is here, and I simply wanted to do something funny. I will talk about the Sableye versus the Salazzle. The Salazzle, the main thing is fire is decent here, but Poison Stab is pretty nice here because I hit the Finny, I hit the Meowscarada, which I like, and it also gives me beat up pressure on the Annihilate, which is, again, just something I wanted to continue as a joke from last season. It's fast, it gets Fake Out, a lot of nice options there. Sableye, on the other hand, it's more of this, like, defensive, you know, setting up screens and stuff on. I just realized all my Pokemon came out as male.
Interesting.
Huh.
I know Tornadus is always male.
Yeah, Tornadus is always male, but all the other ones are like 50-50. Well, Inteleon's like 87-12 or whatever. But it's just really funny that happened. I ended up pretty much the reason I would say I went with Sableye was because when I look at Juice's team, I see, okay, the Meowscarada has the potential to simply crit through my screens with Flower Trick, but I'm not that fearful of grass type moves. I'm more fearful of its dark type stab. I guess it has Protean, so it doesn't really matter.
It can have Protean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can.
It can. This one was running Protean.
Yep.
And basically, I just, given what I wanted to do with the sort of the Annihilate with the bulk up sets, and given that I had, I already basically had my Weezing and my Inteleon as my strongest offensive forces with the exception of Annihilate. I kind of wanted that extra support that I could pivot in and out and get sort of prankster moves off with. Mainly because I wanted to give Annihilate as much support as possible, and I felt Sableye did a better job of that.
Makes sense.
That was a lot of words to say pretty much nothing. Tell me about Juice's team.
On Juice's side, I think the most important thing for Juice to keep in mind at every single match is that Drifblim is all he has for Tailwind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best position to be in to have only a C tier as a Tailwind setter, but there's a lot of priority elsewhere, so it's speed control isn't super important for him, but it always helps. But you have the Thunderclap, you have the Sucker Punch from Meowscarada, you have the Entei Extreme Speed.
Yeah, my team is very, very weak to the Thunderclap. Honestly, Pichu is half unironically not a bad pick here, because I sort of am able to bait out the Thunderclap sometimes. I am genuinely really fearful of this Entei, I feel like.
That makes sense.
Also, this is bullshit. I was expecting a Stantler matchup here.
Right.
I was
Just dishonorable.
I was promised a Stantler matchup here. I was promised one, and it didn't come, which is absolute nonsense.
Alright, we should end our Yapathon and start the battle.
Nah, don't say a thing like that. You don't want me editing this for like the entire Sunday?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair.
Baby's first C tier. Nice little fake out to start off the match. There was only one Pokemon to fake out, so it makes sense. Tailwind does go up.
Yeah, which I don't really care about because Annihilape is not really going first anyways, and basically everything's going to be Prankster on, say, the left side of the field. Light Screen, very nice here because it lets me, both of these Pokemon are special. We live those.
Yep.
But I'm switching out anyways, and this switch act is actually very nice because Pichu was going to survive that anyways, had a Focus Sash, but I get to prevent that Volt Switch. Pichu doing something this season. Pichu honestly already doing more this season than anybody expected besides me. Let's go. So in comes the end.
Yeah, Annihilate's been entirely avoided up to this point. It's +2.
So for this turn, I spent a very long time. I knew it was a manual switch on the Raging Bolt. Based on my calcs, I pretty much was not doing any damage to that left slot no matter what I did. Like, I was doing like 30% max with either a Rage Fist or a Drain Punch. And obviously in the right slot, I could only use Rage Fist. I bring Misty Surge here. Destiny Bond goes up. Honestly, goated play. Rage Fist. I expected that would do 50 to 60% from where I was. That's what my calc was telling me, but no. Okay. There's like a 60% chance to OHKO, so there goes... Yeah, the first 3 turns...
Juice ran a relatively small amount of bulk.
Yeah, it was like 208 HP and that was it. Yeah, the first few turns were going exactly as I had hoped, and then that was like, well, now this is a new turn 1.
Yeah.
This is a new turn 1, and all of the stuff I had has gone down. I don't know what this Finny was running. I really wanted to run Levitate on this Weezing because of Landorus. The main reason I didn't was because my Torn was using a Misty Seed set, and I did not want to chance Finny having telepathy because he didn't want to make his own Raging Bolt Dragon type moves do less damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the main reason I brought Misty Surge here instead.
Yeah, and Weezing's actually like in a pretty prime position to just hit something this turn.
Mm-hmm.
The Finny does go for Calm Mind, which is going to reduce the damage of the Weezing, but oh my gosh, it still does over 50.
Yeah, bro's insane. Special attack Weezing goes kind of hard. In comes the Pichu again. It is going to die to the Draining Kiss, which is not going to prevent the Raging Bolt from doing its thing.
It does minimize the Finny's recovery, though, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing at 50% to the Raging Buddy.
And here we get my Barrier, or my Seed off. Now my Acrobatics is boosted.
Kind of interesting to switch out the Raging Bolt there. I feel like it was free damage.
Potentially. Yeah, between my special defense boost and the light screen, that is really not healing up very much. At this point with the Finny, it's like part of me definitely just wants to ignore it. But at the same time, I am a little bit worried about it boosting up. So I do double target into a Protect here, which really big mistake for me. But fucking never punished.
Yep, the Finny's only attacking move here is
Draining Kiss. Yep.
Gonna get some more chip onto the Finny.
Never punished.
Stone Edged. And gonna do 0 damage.
Yeah. And so I guess my issue here is I know the rest of my team, once these two go down, can't kill Finny. So I'm in a weird position here of leaving the Finny on its side of the field to just use Draining Kiss over and over while I kill the other slot is my best way of getting as much differential as possible. But if both of these Pokemon go down, I lose the match regardless, because I literally can never kill this Finny. So it comes down to, do I want to play to minimize my differential loss, or do I want to play to win and probably get more differential loss when I probably lose? Is basically what it's coming down to. I end up deciding, you know what? I don't think I'm winning this match. I'm going to get as many of these diff points as I can and let the Finny just start doing Finny things.
It was a good play that turn because it went for heal pulse.
Yeah. But like at this point, it could just start calm minding and there wouldn't be much I could do.
Yeah. However, Finny has revealed all 4 moves at this point, which is nice.
I calculated that I still had light screen up, which is why I thought that was a free turn for me. It was not.
Yeah. Torn goes down.
Didn't think of that either. I don't know why I didn't play around that. That was very dumb of me.
You know. But not much to do at this point. It's very convenient that Raging Bolt basically reveals that it doesn't have Protect here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another free down.
Yeah, so at this point, Juice basically has won the match. It's a matter of, can I get another differential point or not? So he sends in the Torn, because the Torn has Protect, the Meowscarada does not. He's going to have to take 2 more turns to kill Inteleon here, assuming he does not crit. He does not.
And here's one of those times where you go for a double Protect.
Yep. But it fails. Which is to be expected, so we end on the 2-0.
Yeah. Pretty good game, pretty close.
Yeah. I think there were win cons for me. There were a couple of points where I had, I think, generally the upper hand, and Juice just managed to flip the script on me pretty well. So props to that. Props early on with the Destiny Bond. That worked out very well. Very funny that the first time the ape has gone fucking down was at Juice's hand with the Destiny Bond. I think it went down a couple. It's the first time in official season numerics, right? Because
no.
the playoff stuff doesn't.
No.
Huh?
No.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Math killed it with the hydro pump or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it only got 1 kill this game.
Yeah, that's fine.
What else? And then after that, there were just a couple of mistakes with calcs, assuming things were going to do less or more just because of incorrect assumptions. But otherwise pretty good. And then towards the end there, really assessing whether the win was as important to me as the differential and deciding to go, no, Finny can live, Finny can end me. I would rather get more of these kills. All right, but I think that is it. Should we move into the last game?
Yeah, and I think I have a lot to talk about on this game regarding win conditions and how, despite how this game looks when you watch it, I think OJ deserved the win.
Okay, tell me. Talk to me.
Well, we can go over team preview first. Standard sand, not sand. The sand team without the sand setter. Didn't need it. I think it's a good team without it. OJ's, what is it? The comfort pick of Infernape. You love to see the Infernape. Just standard. Both of our teams are kind of standard looking. On my side, I've got Ogerpon Wellspring. It's a very annoying Pokemon. I've got Blaziken. Blaziken puts in a ridiculous amount of work in this match. On paper.
Yeah.
And Ursaluna is a pain to prep around. Mine is speed creep, so that if Tailwind is up, it actually outspeeds his whole team.
Huh. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it took 177 EVs or something. Definitely not that, because that's not divisible by 4, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the unnicknamed Escavalier, who I didn't think of one before the game started, which was unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Now his name is No Quarter.
Nice. All your nicknames are so good. A real genius must have come up with them.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them. All right. What about OJ's side? I guess we talked about the no sand needed.
It's a well balanced team on OJ's side.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I'm literally seeing both cores here. Firewater Grass and Steel Dragon Fairy just staring me in the face. All lined up in a row.
Yeah.
All right. Should I get into it? Or you're going to describe things as we go along?
Yeah.
Okay. So to be clear, this match did not affect any standings. This was just for fun. But
Yeah, and I
still a
think this
learning
match might
experience.
get covered in more detail by someone else.
Yes, potentially. We shall see. All right.
So, alright, turn 1, it's obvious that the fake out's coming out, but I figure regardless, Corviknight cannot kill Blaziken. Blaziken is max defense in this game. And it doesn't go for Blaziken, so it's fine. So I just clicked Flare Blitz instead of Protect.
Uh-huh.
This turn, I'm going to set up Tailwind, because I figure why not. I wanted to call Slowbro coming in on the Corviknight slot, and I'm glad I didn't. Because then I would have knocked off the DNC and done no damage. I'm gonna bring Ogerpon back out here. Protect on DNC is okay. I do want to get rid of DNC, so I did close combat it. Future Sight's into Blaziken, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Something that I should have remembered, but the turns were long, so I forgot.
Okay, so that's what it was. Because I do remember getting to that turn and thinking like, okay, so he definitely switches out into Moltres Galard here, right? Like, there's no reason not to, because Blaziken is, like, really important to this match, and it could definitely just speed boost up again. But then you just left it in, I'm like, okay, maybe this is some hyper offense strat that I don't get. But no, I was right.
I just forget because the turns on TDD are so long.
Okay, alright. That's actually really nice for me to know, because I assume that was intentional when it happened, because I was like, huh, I definitely would have just switched up there.
No,
Okay.
that's bad.
Okay. Yeah, because Future Sight's always, you know, just dangerous to bring into one of these games, because it's like, yeah, you just switch into a Dark type.
Mm-hmm. So here, what I should have done is switch Blaziken out.
Mm-hmm.
It does get the surprise kill on Corviknight, probably because he was expecting me to switch out, but no, it was better to preserve Blaziken. Goes to the Power Whip, gets a miss. That will balance out, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Blaziken, especially with Speed Boost, could have just, like, protected once and come in at any point later and continued doing massive amounts of damage here.
So me, at this point, I was like, oh, I won the game. He gets Moltres below half because of my HP investment, and Moltres double kills here, except it doesn't, it flinches.
Oof. Oh, yeah, that... With what move? With Burning Jealousy, or Heat Wave, or what?
With its signature move that I don't remember the name of. So I switch an Iron Boulder to sack it here. Hindsight, probably not a great idea, but I didn't know how to deal with Garchomp anymore because it's just flinching things. And it continues to flinch things. We get to do a nice little Blood Moon there. But basically what I wanted to say about this game is that OJ just played better by hiding Garchomp for the whole game. Until Blaziken was gone. Ursaluna easily eats up the Grass Knot, though. And then finally Escavalier gets to move and kill the Garchomp.
So you think the big thing there was simply preserving the Garchomp until Blaziken was gone?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think you could have done to sort of get around those flinches? Do you think there was anything?
Honestly, just pay more attention. Like, be better. Like, Moltres should have come in earlier. Ogerpon probably should have taken more opportunities to do damage. Why did my icon change when the match ended?
I think because you left, I don't know.
Anyway, preserving Blaziken was, like, probably the biggest thing, even though it didn't Oko Garchomp. It plus Iron Boulder, which outsped, would have done it.
I see, yeah. And yeah, because the Ogerpon in this match, it showed off, like, Follow Me, is that it? No, it used Horn Leech a couple of times.
Yeah. It had Horn Leech, it had Ivy Cudgel, and it had Spiky Shield.
I was really surprised to see you fully sack Iron Boulder. Can you explain that to me?
The sack for Iron Boulder was to get Moltres in safely, because I was like, he can't kill Moltres here. I have too much HP. investment, it'll activate Berserk and it'll double kill. And then it got flinched, and I was like, oh, right, that can happen.
I see. Okay.
But no, Moltres was much more of a win con than
Iron Boulder
was at that point.
Fair enough. I'm surprised because that's a lot of resists.
Yeah, but I always had something to hit the other side.
But you were scarfed.
On Moltres, yeah.
Yeah.
I had other Pokemon.
Oh, right. This isn't singles. I keep forgetting. Anyways, that's going to be it for week 1. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Any final notes for the end of the week moving into week 2?
Not really. Looking forward to having my first match because this was an exhibition.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm looking forward to your first match.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. Anyways, everyone enjoy your week 2. Honestly, at the rate we've been going this season, most of it's probably over at this point, but either way, we will see you all next Wednesday with some more review, some more matches. Have a good evening. Bye. Or day. I don't know what time of day it is. What time of day do you think it is?
I don't know, but I'm no longer good, actually.
Are you hamstrings again?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, actually.